Okay, today I'm going to go over some dimensional analysis examples with you. So let's look at our whiteboard here. And go through multiple examples. We'll start off with some easy ones. And then we'll move on to some stuff that's a little harder. Okay. So let's say we have 3 hours. And we want to convert that to seconds. All right, so what are our conversion factors? You need conversion factors. So we know that in every hour, we have 60 minutes. And we know that in every minute, we have 60 seconds. All right, so start with what you have or what's been given. So we've been given 3 hours. I always like to put that over a 1. You don't have to. That's the way I like to. And we got to multiply it by something that's going to eliminate, of course, our hours. And the way you do that is whatever you want to eliminate, you put, since we have hours on the top in this fraction here, hours are on the top, we need to put our hours down here so they cancel out. So 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. Okay, we can cancel these hours out, but we're not where we need to be yet because we have to get to seconds. Well, what are we going to put on the bottom? We said that for every minute you have 60 seconds. Well, we want to cancel out minutes because we don't want minutes. So we're going to put our 1 minute here and our 60 seconds on the top. That's going to allow us to cancel out our minutes. And we just do the simple math in the calculator of 3 times 60 times 60. And that is going to give us 10,800 seconds. So that's our answer for that one. Okay, moving on. Our next one, let's look at some distance problems. Let's say we have a measurement that we've taken in yards. Okay, and we want to convert that to inches. All right, so again, conversion factors. Well, 1 yard is equal to 3 feet. And 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. All right, so start with what you're given, 2.5 yards. And again, my preference, I like to put that over 1. And we got to multiply it by something. And in this case, we want to get rid of our yards. So we're going to put our yard on the bottom. And what did we say 1 yard equals to? It equals to 3 feet. That allows us to cancel out the yards. Now, we still haven't got where we need to be because we want inches, not feet. So again, we've got to cancel out feet. Where do we put it? Well, since 3 feet is on the top of this fraction here in the middle, we need to put feet on the bottom. And we said feet is equal to 12 inches. So now we can cancel out the feet. And now you just do the math, 2.5 times 3 and times 12, and you end up with 90 inches. Okay, clear that out. Let's look at a metric one. Now this would be super easy to do with your decimals, just moving the decimals, but we're not just moving the decimals today. We are doing dimensional analysis. So this is where you are going to have to figure out how to set it up in the little equation and cancel out units to get what you want. So we are going to want to go from milligrams to centigrams. This one's pretty easy. You just really need to know for your conversion factor that 1 milligram is equal to 0.1 centigrams. And you could look at that by just knowing that metric system table we've been talking about. So let's start with what we know. Okay, and we have to multiply this by something in order to eliminate the milligrams. So we're going to put the milligram on the bottom. And we said 1 milligram is equal to 1 centigram. Oh, I'm sorry, 0.1 centigram. Cancel out the milligrams, put 0.035 times 0.1 into your calculator, and you end up with 0.0035 centigrams. Sorry, we're going to centigrams on this one. Let's get rid of that. Centigrams. Okay, if you remember your metric system table, you're only moving one spot over, so you can see how we just moved that decimal place one spot. We can check ourselves. Let's look at this. So remember, King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. Here is your milli. Here is your centi. And we were going from milligrams to centigrams, so we're only moving one decimal point. If we started out with our original number, which was 0.035 milligrams, again, we are moving that direction on our metric system chart, so you would move that decimal place over 1. And your answer, you put your decimal place here, which gives you 0.0, which is exactly what we got right here. So we just checked ourselves. Yes, that's correct. All right, let's look at miles and inches. Okay, let's say we have 5 miles. And we want to know how many inches that is. Conversion factors. 1 mile is equal to 5,280 feet. And then 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. All right, I'm going to tell you to maybe pause it right here and see if you can figure this one out yourself before you let me continue it for you. Okay, hopefully you paused it. You should have started out with what you know, what's been given, which is 5 miles. All right, and then we have to get rid of the miles, so we put 1 mile down here, and we said that's equal to 5,280 feet. Sorry, my pen's not writing too well today. Okay, that allows us to cancel out miles. And we're trying to get to inches, so now we got to eliminate the feet. So since our feet's on the top and the middle fraction, we need to put the 1 foot on the bottom of this fraction. And we said 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. That allows you to cancel out feet units. We're where we want to be, so y'all just got to put it in the calculator. 5 times 5,280 times 12. Going to give us a big number because we went from big units to small units, but you should get 316,800 inches. So 5 miles is equal to 316,800 inches. Okay, here's something a little simpler. We'll switch gears here. Everybody knows money. Let's look at a money example. Let's say you have $12. And for some reason, you want to know how many nickels that is. All right, well, you only really need one conversion factor for this. You just need to know that $1 has 20 nickels, or is made up of 20 nickels. All right, so we start with what we're given. Okay, and in order to make this dollar disappear, this dollar unit, we put the dollar on the bottom. Okay, and we said that $1 is equal to 20 nickels. Okay, eliminate the dollar unit, and then you are just going to multiply now. 12 times 20. That gives you 240 nickels in $12. All right, let's see what we can look at now. Let's look at another length example. All right, let's say we have inches. Let's make sure I haven't done this one yet. Okay, 3.5 inches. 3.5 inches is equal to how many centimeters? All right, so what is our conversion factors for this? Really the only thing you need to know for this is that 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters. This one's pretty easy. So if you want to pause it, this is an easy one. Let's see if you can do this one on your own. Go ahead and pause it now and try to do it yourself before you let me continue. Okay, hopefully you paused it and tried it yourself. You always start with what's given. We were given 3.5 inches. And what do we have to put on the bottom? Well, we need to put inches on the bottom because we need to get rid of inches. We said 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters. That allows us to cancel out inches. So 4.2, by the way. Just put this in the calculator, 3.5 times 2.54. And you should get 8.89 centimeters. Now, I know we've talked about sig figs. I'm not even worried about sig figs in this presentation because I'm trying to get you to understand dimensional analysis. So don't worry about sig figs for this. I just looked at that and was like, hey, remember our answer should be in the least number of sig figs, which this one is not, but don't worry about that right now. All right, let's look at some volume. Let's go with 2 gallons. All right, and we want to convert that into milliliters. So now we're taking another large unit and trying to turn it into smaller units. So our conversion factor, we need to know that 1 gallon is equal to 4 quarts. And we need to know that 1 quart is 0.946 liters. And then 1 liter is equal to 1,000 milliliters. All right, so it starts with what you're given. You're given 2 gallons. All right, and what do we got to multiply that by? Well, again, we got to get rid of gallons. So gallons here on the bottom. We said gallons is equal to 4 quarts. Oops, that's a multiplication there. And now we go with another fraction. So we got rid of our gallons. But remember, we want milliliters, so we got to get rid of quarts too. And we said 1 quart is equal to 0.946 liters. And now that gets rid of our quart units. But we're still not quite where we need to be because we have liters. We need to get it down to milliliters. So again, you got liters on the top, so we need to put liters on the bottom for this next fraction so they cancel out. And we said that 1 liter is equal to 1,000 milliliters. So now it cancels out your liters. You're left with milliliters. Put that into the calculator. 2 times 4 times 0.946 times 1,000. And you're going to end up with 7,568 milliliters. So there's 7,568 milliliters in 2 gallons. Okay. Let's look to a weight. We'll start with 1/4 pound. 0.25 pounds is equal to, sorry guys, our pen's really acting up. We want to convert that to grams. All right, so what do we need to know for this one? We need to know 1 pound is equal to 16 ounces. And we need to know that 1 gram is equal to 0.03527 ounces. I know I carried that out a lot of decimals. When I looked it up, that's what it gave me. And if I tried to round it, the answer didn't come out as accurate as I liked. So that's why I left it as long as I did. Okay, so what do we start with? 0.25 pounds, because that's what we're given. All right, now you got to multiply that by a fraction. Well, we got to get rid of pounds. So we said 1 pound, put that on the bottom because we got to cancel them out, is equal to 16 ounces. So now doing this allows us to cancel out the pounds. Our next fraction. All right, now we're trying to get the grams. We don't need ounces, so we got to eliminate the ounces. So we said that we're going to put the ounces on the bottom. 0.03524 ounces, cancel out ounces now, is equal to 1 gram. So just plug that into the calculator. 0.25 times 16, and of course times 1 is going to give you, the answer for the top. And then you are going to divide that answer by your 0.035274. Okay, you should get 113 point, I'm just going to round this one. It goes out to like 39797, but for this one, let's just go ahead and round it. And that's in grams. 113.4 grams. All right, let's look at one where we've got 2 units. It gets a little bit more complicated, but you just take one at a time. So let's start with 50 kilometers per second. So we're talking about speed. Kilometers per second. And what we want is we want to go to miles per hour. All right, so what do we need to know for this? All right, well, let's look at 1 kilometer is equal to 0.62137 miles. Here's another one I carried out. Quite a few decimals. Okay, and then you need to know that 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes, which you should know. And that 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. Because we're going from kilometers per second to miles per hour. Okay, so let's go with what's given. So we know that you have 50 kilometers per second. Okay, that's what 50, you got the km/s, that's kilometers per second. So you can go 50 kilometers in 1 second. That's how you write the fraction for that. All right, well, let's look at the distance first. We'll worry about the seconds on the bottom in a minute. Now let's try to convert our kilometers to miles first. So let's put kilometers on the bottom, because we want to eliminate that unit. And we said that 1 kilometer is equal to 0.62137 miles. Okay, so now we're going to eliminate our kilometers. That's gone. And we got our miles, because that's what we want. Look right here, we want miles per hour. So now we worked that part out. Okay, we've eliminated kilometers and we've got miles, so we're good. But now we got to deal with the time aspect. So we got to do another multiplication, another fraction here. And look what we got left. We got seconds here, but we need to go to hours. All right, so now our seconds is going to go on the top because we want to cancel out the seconds. So 60 seconds, we said, were found in 1 minute. So we can now eliminate our seconds. But we're still not where we need to be because we don't want minutes, we want hours. Okay, so now we have minutes down here on the bottom. So we have to put minutes up here. That way they will eliminate. And we put our hour here. All right, so now you just basically go across the top. 50 times 0.62137 miles times 60, and times 60 again. And you have ones across the bottom, so we don't really have to worry too much about that. And what you end up with is a big number, 111,847 miles per hour. I said that one's a little more complicated because you're dealing with 2 units, but you still just take it 1 unit at a time. All right, now let's do another one like that. Let's go this time in miles per hour. And we want to go to kilometers per second. Kilometers per second. All right, so conversion factors. 1 mile is equal to 1.6 .09 kilometers. And the time conversion is 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. All right, so start with what you were given, 8 miles per hour. Okay, but the way I like to write this is not that way, so let me erase that. The way we like to write it is 8 miles for every 1 hour. All right, we got to multiply that by something. We got to get rid of the miles. You're trying to convert them to kilometers. Again, take one unit at a time. So miles to kilometers. All right, so we said for every 1 mile, we got to put mile on the bottom because we want them to cancel out. We said that equals to 1.609 kilometers. So cross out miles. Now we are at kilometers. That's where we want to be. So we're done with the length units. Now we have to deal with the time units. So we said hours over here. We want to go to seconds. All right. So look what we have. We have hours. So we got to get rid of hours. So we're going to put our hour here so they cancel out. And we said 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. But that's not where we need to be. We need to be at seconds. So we got rid of the hours, but now we got to get rid of the minutes. So we're going to put 1 minute on the top. So that'll cancel out this way. We said that that equals to 60 seconds. Okay, so this time you're doing the calculator. You're doing 8 times 1.609. You'll get your top part of your fraction, which is going to give you, put that in the calculator, you know, with 12.872, and that's kilometers. And then if you put the bottom part into the fraction, 60 times 60, you end up with 3,600 seconds. Now, we don't want it in this form, okay? So go ahead and put the, treat this like any fraction, and basically this line here tells you that you're dividing. So you put 12.872 into the calculator divided by 3,600. That's going to give you a very tiny number, 0.0036, and your units are kilometers per second. Of course, it's every second, so of course it would be a tiny little fraction of a number. Okay. Let's look at, I think I have one more. No, I got 3 more. Okay. Let's go back to a little bit more simple than what we're just looking at. Let's go from, we're going back to one with yards. 10 yards. And we want to go to meters. Again, my pen and this thing over here. I think it's my screen. Doesn't want me to write on that side. Okay, let's look at our conversion factors. 1 yard is equal to 36 inches. And then 2.54 centimeters in every inch. And then there's 100 centimeters in 1 meter. All right, so go ahead and pause the video, and I want you to try this one before I continue. Okay, hopefully you paused it and you tried it yourself. You're going to start with what's been given, which is 10 yards. Got to multiply that by something. Okay, so what fraction do we put here? Well, we have yards, so we need to get rid of the yards. We're going to put yards on the bottom. And then we said 1 yard is equal to 36 inches. Okay, that way we can cancel out our yards. All right, now we don't need inches though, we need meters. So we got to get rid of our inches now. So we put our 1 inch on the bottom so they cancel out. And we said 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters. We can cancel out the inches. Still not quite where we need to be because we don't want centimeters, we want meters. So one more. Put our centimeters on the bottom. We said there's 100 centimeters in 1 meter. So now our centimeters cancel out and we're left with meters, which is what we want. So you're going to plug this into the calculator. 10 times 36 times 2.54. That goes on the top. And then, of course, you're going to divide it by what we have on the bottom, which is 100. And you should end up with 9.144 meters. Hopefully that's what you got if you tried this one yourself. All right, couple more. Let's do another one of those multiple ones with the length and the time. Let's look at 12 meters per second, and we want it in miles per hour. All right, this one got several conversion factors. So we got 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer. We have 1.609 kilometers in a mile. We got 60 seconds in a minute. And you have 60 minutes in 1 hour. All right, pause it here. I want you to try this one before I continue. Okay, hopefully you paused it and gave it a shot. All right, so 12 meters per second. So you should have started with what was given. So this is 12 meters in every 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and look out a second. It's just to help you guys with understanding what we're doing. Okay, and we got to multiply that by something. So we're gonna work on the distance one. This is meters. I guess I should do that too, just to make it a little so clear, because we have meters and miles, and they both start with an M. All right, so we need to get rid of the meters. Okay, so we said there's 1,000 meters in every kilometer. So we got to put our meters on the bottom. And that's 1 kilometer. That way our meters cancel out. Still not where we need to be, because we need to get to miles. All right, so our next fraction. Okay, this time we're trying to eliminate kilometers. So we said there is 1.609 kilometers in 1 mile. That eliminates your kilometer units. Okay, so we're basically where we need to be, miles, so we can stop working on the distance one. Now we got to work on the time. All right, so look, we have second over here, but we need to get to hours. So let's go ahead and get rid of those seconds. We said there are 60 seconds. We're going to put that on the top so we can cancel those out. And we said 60 seconds in every minute, but we don't want minute, we want hours. So one more fraction. We said there are 60 minutes, and we're going to put that on the top because we got to eliminate minutes, and minutes is on the bottom with this fraction here. And we said that there are there's 1 hour. That's 60 minutes in an hour because we're trying to get to hours. Okay, so now we're left with hours here. We're left with miles there. That's what we want, miles per hour. So that's when we can stop and go ahead and put it in our calculator. So you should put the 12, and we really don't need to do times 1 times 1 because that's just going to give you 12. Anyway, 12 times 60 times 60, and that is going to give you 43,200 miles. And then if you multiply 1,000 here times 1.609, that gives you 1,609 hours on the bottom. Now we don't want to leave it in this. You are going to treat this fraction as a division problem. You're going to put 43,200 into the calculator divided by, this line right here tells you divided by 1,609. And you should get 26.85. That is miles per hour. Okay, that was your answer for that one. One more. All right, we'll do one more that has the multiple units because I know they're a little more difficult. let's go with 55 miles per hour. Miles per hour equals 2. And how many meters per second this is? Meters per second. Actually, you would write that. Hold on. Usually when we do the metric system, they do it a little different from the English version. So miles per hour, and we want to know meters. I'm sorry, guys. Again, this side of my screen doesn't write very well. Meters per second. All right, so what are our conversion factors for this one? Well, we need to know that there are 1.609 kilometers in a mile. We need to know that there are, let's see, 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 meters. And we need to know that there are 60 minutes in an hour. And we need to know that there is 60 seconds and 1 minute. Okay, so that's our conversion factors. All right, so I'm going to tell you to pause it again and try to do this one on your own. Okay, hopefully you pause it and tried it yourself. So what do we start with? We start with what's given. We are given 55, and again, I'll write this out. That's miles in 1 hour. Okay. And we're trying to, this is meters, we're trying to go to meters, that's per second, but let's go with the length units first. So we're going to work on converting the miles to meters. So in our fraction here, what do we have to put on the bottom? We need to put the mile, because we want those two units to cancel. We said 1 mile is equal to 1.609 kilometers. All right, so we can eliminate miles. Next fraction. We don't want kilometers, we want meters. So we got to get rid of the kilometers now. So we're going to put kilometer on the bottom so that they cancel out. And we said that 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 meters. So now we've gotten to meters. We're good with our length, so we can stop with that. Now we got to work on the second units, which are the time units. So we're going from hours here, and we're trying to get to seconds. So we got to eliminate our hours, which we have over here. So our hour, we're going to need to put on the top. And we said 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. So this is going to help us to eliminate the hour units. And then, sorry, running out of space here. Now we got to get rid of minutes because we need to get to seconds. Okay, so our minutes is on the bottom here. So we're going to put our 1 minute on the top for the next fraction. And we said that's equal to 60 seconds. That allows us to cross off those. And now what you're going to do is we've actually reached our time unit, which was seconds. So we're good on that one. So now we just have to put it in the calculator. So you're going to do 55 times 1.609 times 1,000. And that's going to give you 88,495 meters. And then across the bottom, you got, like I said, the ones, but you don't have to worry about those. The 60 times 60, which is going to give you 3,600 seconds. We don't want to leave it like that. So what you're going to do is treat this big fraction as a division problem. Again, so you're going to put 88,495 into your calculator divided by 3,600. And you should end up with 24.6, and that's meters per second. Okay, guys, I hope that helps you understand dimensional analysis a little better. I think it just takes practice over and over and over again. So here are several examples that I have done, and I also have several links in the Unit 1 notes section videos with people explaining dimensional analysis and them going over examples as well. So I'm hoping that helped you guys out. Thanks for watching.